3.
All right. We are now ready for Apache to run Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater HD Collection on European Extreme New Game. Take it away, Apache.
Thanks very much. Because the Tuxedo incentive was met, we're not actually running on New Game, we're running on New Game Plus. It's the only way to get the Tuxedo. It's not just me running today, I'm also joined by Mayu. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Mayu. I actually don't really run this game, but I know way too much about it for the fact that I don't run it.
Mini, Omega King, introduce yourself.
I've played this game a couple times on this difficulty.
True. And Major Zero, introduce yourself, please, mate.
Hello, I'm Mr. MZ. I run this game fastly.
Alright, so I'm going to load my New Game Plus save, and that will start the timer. So we will go in 3, 2, 1. Let's do it.
Good luck.
Okay, so yeah, it's European Extreme on New Game Plus, so we can wear the tuxedo in every single room. Thank you so much for raising the 200 for that incentive. I'm really proud to be at this marathon again. I think this is my 8th time running at UKSG, so I guess they're not sick of me yet. And I'm just really happy to be here again. The tuxedo camo. They've put the tuxedo in a few Metal Gear games. This is the first one where it really affects your run. Because in Metal Gear Solid 3 we have something called the camo index. It's in the top right. When it's red, we're in the negative numbers. We're in -%. It means guards can see you much easier. On the highest difficulty, European Extreme, if we get seen at all, it's instantly game over. So we absolutely don't want to get seen at all. It also prevents you from using CQC, and CQC stands for Close Quarters Combat, and it's a type of martial art that Snake can use. So we can't use that while in the tuxedo. That means we can't use it against certain bosses. So we have to come up with new strats. And there's a section of the game that is based in a laboratory, and normally we would use the scientist costume disguise in there. So we can't use that either. We're going to do what we call disguiseless lab. So I've got my tuxedo now. I'll stick that on. It's not every room in the game, it's just every room where we can wear it, because we won't be able to wear it at some portions of the game, but it's the majority of the run. We're just starting out in the virtuous mission here, so there's not a... Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, Apache. Do I have a minute to say a couple things?
Yeah, of course, go for it.
Cool. So first of all, Kaz says good luck. And secondly, we have a $5 donation by Chovy Salts saying, "More tuxedos? Sure, take my money." Also, I just beat MGS3 last night, and it took me a whopping 26 hours, so I'll be thoroughly impressed by ApacheSmash's run through the jungle. Be careful, Snake. And that's going to Tuxedo to closing Boogaloo.
Nice. I think 26 hours is about right for a a casual playthrough. It is a long game. There's plenty of story going on, plenty of cutscenes to watch. We're going to be skipping all of those. I think we will come underneath 26 hours. I think we'll be okay.
Could be close, but you got this. We believe in you.
So what we did there, we tranked that guard and then rolled into him. That will instantly knock him out. What we did to the second guard is called a bump roll. We bump through him and we move through his entire body before rolling to make sure we get in that load zone before he stands up. And now we're going to trank roll this guard. Oh, we've got the frame 1 roll. Major, can you explain what a frame 1 roll is?
So basically, frame roll 1 is one roll is a weird collision bug. If you land on where two vertices connect, Snake won't really be able to land and do the animation that he's meant to do. So instead, he'll just do nothing and go right into his running animation. If you ever played Halo 2 and you see that bug where people go flying through the map, it's a bit like that, except less dramatic.
It's a good one. If you ever doing a virtuous mission ILs, you have to keep resetting to get that roll. It saves about a second. That's a quick headshot, so we put our aim out, stand on our tiptoes, and that puts us on the same plane as the guard's head, instantly knocking him out. I'm just going to put a few tranks in these guards. It's a bit of a backup strat for this area, just to make sure we get through safely with the tuxedo, because these guards can just see us from so far away. And now we need to get in the next room before that guard stands up, and we're fine. We're through the virtuous mission. Beginning of the game, it's very much like a tutorial to set you off running.
Teach you the basics.
Of CQC?
No,
Exactly.
not of CQC.
You're
We
not-
can't use it. I still
Not
love the
everybody.
I still love the explanation. Snake does not have his little knife, and this is why he can't use his fists. It's still the best explanation I've ever heard for something.
Yeah, we're playing on the Japanese version, so we can't do the codec. There's additional codecs where they explain camouflages. You know, you can have any weapon or camouflage in the game explained to you through radio calls. But because they'll all be in Japanese, there'll be very few people who understand them, so we'll just be skipping on through them.
I mean, you could translate them for us. You've
Yeah,
played this game so many times.
Maybe not. So we're going to do a little cure menu here. The cure menu is very annoying because it won't just accept your inputs as fast as you can do them. You have to be very patient with it, otherwise you'll just get stuck on items.
Just treat it like a little dog.
Yeah, we'd all like to do that much faster than you actually can. But the virtuous mission in terms of Tuxedo isn't that difficult. It doesn't change a whole lot about the route. Now we're in the Snake Eater mission. The first room in here with guards is the hardest room in the whole run. It's ridiculously hard because we get our weapon taken away from us in a cutscene in just a moment. But you can pick up items off the ground in Metal Gear Solid 3. So here we're going to pick up a mushroom, and that will become our weapon. So I'll just menu that now, along with the Tuxedo before I forget.
Always remember that mushroom. He will never be forgotten.
Yeah. It's a Siberian ink cap, so that's all we need to get through this next room. And genuinely, this is the hardest room in the game. The first roll that you do has to be absolutely perfect, otherwise you're instantly seen. And then it just gets more difficult from there, but I'll try and explain what's going on as I'm doing it. We always roll up hills, especially when we don't have the box, because Snake will kind of stutter walking up hills. It's just faster to roll.
Got a minute?
I believe this mushroom strat was found by Azu, right? I think.
No, Apel, but like Azu, of course, already knew about it. In one moment, Shep.
Yeah, cool.
So the first roll was good there, and now we need to wait for a sound cue before we can lob this mushroom their way. And I want to hug this wall because there's a poisonous snake on the ground. Wait for that second guard to turn. As soon as he turns, I'm going to run up to him and then start cooking the grenade. That will silence my footsteps on certain terrain. And if my rolls here are perfect, I'll be able to get through without getting seen. And we're all good. Just one more room, and then I'll let you jump in, Shep. I won't be a sec. Hopefully. This room's really difficult as well. There's two very, very tricky rolls right at the start here. And I have to get through these two trees. And then I have to roll all the way down this bridge. Every time I roll, it will raise my camo index just enough so that guard behind me won't see me. And Shep, if you want to jump in.
Alright, cool. Just want to say that the donation bid for Tuxedo 2 has been met with a $33 donation by Tiny Tim, saying, "Hey all, thank you everyone for such an amazing UKSG again. It's been so fun helping out this weekend and also hosting and getting a run as well. Good luck to my good friend, the amazing Apache, on the MGS3 run, and you better get those suits out for later, organizers. Cheers." So yeah, that's it. All of our bids are done. Yeah, back to you, Apache.
For anyone who doesn't know Tiny Tim, I love Tiny Tim, and if you don't know him, you would like him if you knew him.
Tim is amazing. Tim is amazing.
Alright, this is the first boss of the game. It's actually just 10 guards. It's called the Ocelot unit, and it's really, really difficult, so I'm going to shut up and just get on with it.
You want to take this one away, Minnie? You're really good at explaining Ocelot unit.
Okay, so he's going to start off here by getting a body shot on this first guard. This is very important. You would think a headshot would be better, but in this case, it's not. Then we're going to get another shot on this guy. It can be a headshot or a body shot, doesn't matter. And we're going to wait for a guy over here to pop out, hit him, and throw a stun grenade around here, knock on the wall so they face the proper direction, roll through him again. Then we're going to get this sniper dude, roll over, and then we just got a couple more guards to get over with. One of them's in a little weird position back there. And then the last one is just around this corner. We have to be really careful here because on Tuxedo, the normal strategy won't work. He will see you like pretty much instantly if you peek out.
Yeah, on normal European Extreme, you can just walk out and your camouflage index is high enough so the guard won't see you.
Yeah, you
But
won't be able to see you.
on Tuxedo, with the Tuxedo on, they will see you because it's so low. But if you're behind a wall and you're leaning out, your model becomes invisible, which means the guards won't see you. And also, if you use the 3D camera and look around, Snake is just invisible for that one. And we used a little in-game mechanic so we can get this last guard without getting seen.
Yeah, it's really useful in Tuxedo. There's 2 places we use it in the run to really great effect. That's one of them. So yeah, the Ocelot unit, very stressful, and thanks for talking us through that mini.
No problem. And the thing about the first-person view aiming is that Snake's model stays in place, but when you lean right and left, only the camera moves, Snake doesn't. So you can actually, like, that's why if you lean past a corner and shoot a guard, they won't spot you, because Snake technically didn't move, only the camera did.
Yeah,
it's just a quirk of the engine.
In Metal Gear Solid 2, if you lean, you can be seen, but not in 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so this next room is incredibly long. Any rooms that are big like this, mistakes are punished much more heavily because obviously if we get seen, we're going back to the start of it, so we lose all the time for traveling through it. It's pretty easy to get caught in this room, so I've got to be careful. First, I need to sneak past some claymores that are on the floor, roll over this tripwire. I'm going to wait for the dog to peek, just to set up my timing for later. If you shoot that dog early, it can cause problems, so I always wait until he peeks outside of the tree. Those dogs, on a normal Euro run, we don't have to do anything with them really, but because our camo index again is so low, we do have to take them out. They'll instantly see us as we drop off the tree. Now I'm going to get up to this broken fence. I'm going to wait until that guard sees me, and I have to wait until he moves away and then trank the other guard. If I trank that guard too early, the room goes into a caution, or the guards go into a caution state. When they're in caution state, they become much more aware, and backup guards begin to come into the room as well, which makes it much easier to get seen.
Well, they become much more aware and caution with an asterisk.
Yeah,
There's some situations where they're not more aware, but we'll see those.
Yeah, the normal kind of route you would take in that room, if you were in a caution state, it would be impossible. So you really don't want to cause the caution there. There's other situations where you do want to cause a caution, but that is not one of them. We are doing non-lethal strats. When we blow up barrels, which kills guards, they don't count as kills for the game. So you can use those in what we call foxhound strats, which is what I'm doing. I'm trying to get the highest rank in the game. No kills, no alerts, no life meds. Only...
Yep, you didn't kill those guards, the barrel did.
Yeah, the explosion did.
This is Ocelot. I'm going to try and keep him in a loop the whole time, so I have to be very careful with my timings of everything. I want to shoot the goat at the back. That's really important.
Did he even notice the goat? I didn't even catch him noticing it.
He did, but he didn't go back for his hat. He ran off to the right. I do apologize. This section of the game is really dark on my capture card. It's not that dark for me. I'm just in a cave. I'm crawling through a long tunnel. Fortunately, the dark area, there isn't a whole lot going on, so I do apologize for that. And Shep, if you want to jump in and hear it at all, it'd be absolutely fine.
Yeah, well, guess could. I guess I'll just take this time to plug BSG again. So, if any of you out there don't know who BSG are, the Benelux Speedrunner Gathering, the B does not stand for British, have been responsible for supporting this marathon. And yeah, so they hold bi-monthly gatherings in the Netherlands. They have supported us from the very beginning, helping to like advertise for us, providing us with channel stream in past sessions, amongst other things. Because like they've also like came by to like help run the marathon back in when we were still able to do like in-person events. So yeah, mark your calendars, by the way, because BSG is celebrating their 5th year anniversary on the 27th and 28th of February, and it should be on this very channel as well. So keep your eyes peeled then.
Yeah, shout out BSG, they're an amazing community. We've got some Metal Gear speedrunners in the BSG community as well, so shout out to them. This fight is the Pain. It is a Pain, so it's aptly named. On the unpatched version of the game, sometimes the swarm just doesn't dissipate in the smoke grenade, so we can just straight die here and through no fault of our own.
But the game seems to like you this time.
For now.
Hopefully everyone curse it now.
So what we're doing is we're shooting the Pain between his nose and his chin, because not all of his head counts as his hitbox. And when he reels back, you can actually put multiple shots into his head. That was really good.
Was
That was
a
a very
really
good
nice
fight.
Pain fight.
I hate to self-congratulate, but you know,
And
that is a rough
I have
fight.
I have to admit, I love the Japanese voice acting of the Pain. I don't know why, I just love it.
So yeah, running on the unpatched copy of the game loads faster than the patch version. So the easiest way to get an unpatched copy is to just get the digital Japanese version off the store, which is the version I'm running now. As I say, there's some problem with smoke grenades in this version when you throw them at the Pain. Sometimes when you throw the smoke grenade at the start, it's to stop his swarm attack. It makes it dissipate. But for some reason in unpatched, no matter where you put that smoke grenade, the swarm will just go through it occasionally. So it's always a scary fight because the swarm attack in European Extreme just kills you so unbelievably quickly. We picked up some moldy fruit off that cave floor there. That's going to be useful later to eat. We're using the box to travel up hills. We'll do this all throughout the run. As I said earlier, you can run at full speed up hills while in the box because it doesn't have any like stutter programmed in. We always say, like, if we could pick between the box and stealth camo, we would pick the box every time. The box is faster.
And it's not even a lie, because in this game there's much running uphill.
Yeah, we got a whole mountain at one point to go up, so. I have to be very careful here in the water because there's searchlights, so I'm just taking a path around them. In a second I'll have to get out of the water because my oxygen is low. I'm saying that out loud mostly to remind myself because I do on occasion just forget and then drown. That has happened.
Okay,
I did that.
one time it was my fault because I distracted him, to be fair.
Occasionally, yeah. So yeah, you don't want to drown, but we are just going to burn a little bit of our health off here. Because of the nature of the run, we don't need to worry about our health now again until the Fury. Because if we get seen by guards, it's game over anyway. So our health doesn't matter as much.
And by the way, if you mentioned it already, then I'm sorry, but the reason why we picked up these fruits is for a normal European Extreme run, we can use the animal's camo, which lets our when you're below half stamina, your aim begins to shake. With the animal's camo, it does not shake anymore. But since we are running in a tuxedo, we can't use the animal's camo and need to get our stamina up again.
Yeah, you really don't want to play with your aim shaking. It's very difficult to do anything once that happens. Your stomach also growls, which makes a sound, and guards can hear it when your stomach growls. In animals, we account for that in the normal Euro run.
Yeah, the threats are based around the stomach crawling, basically.
That's Warehouse 1. All those rolls are very precise. We have to not only knock the guard down, but make sure they are facing, the guard above is facing away from us when they stand back up again. Otherwise they would see us approaching on the stairs, so it's a little bit of a tricky one to get used to, especially when you first start running the game. Alright, we're coming up to the lab. The lab is really difficult. As I say, normally we have a disguise, we wear the scientist costume, but because we're in tuxedo we have to do it without that. Oh, my aim's really bad here. I might get seen by the guard on the east. I was a little bit slow, I aimed kind of wrong. This guard who's on the east, he's off screen. He can catch you all the way at the end here if you're too slow, so just gotta hope for the best.
Eagle eye vision and bad camo.
Yeah,
isn't
they see
a
you from
nice
miles away.
combination. It isn't a nice combination.
Yeah, like we've been saying on normal European Extreme, the lab upcoming is really easy because we just put on the scientist's disguise, but because we're not allowed to do that in this run, there's some creative liberties we have to take to make this all work.
So normally we are just running around these guards. We can't do this here. So for the first guard we do in a trank roll. We trank the guard and then roll into him, which is like if you will headshot him. Then he did a one-punch buffer, which makes this guard we are running past right now go in the direction he need. So he faces away and we can headshot him.
There's a little bit of a backup there. You can take a riskier movement where you just roll past him, but it's so inconsistent, I just don't trust it.
Now we're doing the trank roll again on that guard. So
That was actually a headshot. That was super lucky.
Occasionally
Yeah,
you'll get a quick
good.
headshot, but it makes no odds because you're going to roll anyway.
Yeah.
You have to be so
Now
careful
we're opening
this
that
door.
door extremely slowly, so the guard won't hear us. Funny enough, the scientists won't react to the box. I mean, walk-in boxes.
Oh god, I'm
kinda
caught.
normal.
I'm caught.
Oh no!
Couldn't squeeze past him.
No.
The scientist, when you shoot your bullet, right? When you shoot the bullet, the scientist will stand either left or right, but there he was stood like pretty much in the middle. So I just couldn't get past him.
And if you bump into a guard or a scientist, your box will get taken off. Again, opening the door really carefully, headshotting that guard. Doing a warning shot, which makes the guard at the end go onto the, I call it the radio now, to call for backup, and we can roll into the loading zone. And this was the easy part of the lab. Now we have to get out again.
Yeah, it's true. That is genuinely the easy part. It's much
Like,
harder
easy.
to get out.
Easy in comparison to getting out, of course. We're waiting for a sound cue. As soon as we hear the guard reacting to the tranked scientist, we will walk. Wait for exactly 4 seconds, because this gets the guard in this room in the position we need him. And he will face away from us the whole time, which gives us time to lean out the door and trank the guard in the hallway.
Very nice.
Really nicely done.
I can't believe that scientist stood in the middle of the room. How dare he?
That was really unlucky. RNG really counted against you there. Now we're doing a punch buffer, which we will do so the guard in the next room is in the right position. We need for him to be under the lamp, because in this hallway there's another guard who is facing towards you if you're too fast. And this is the lab. Now we are getting out of here again.
Easy, right?
Yeah, totally easy.
So we just headshot that guard at the start so we can get round all the rest of... There's quite a few sentries in that room, so we have to take an exact line towards this little hole, I guess.
And what you will see now is called a fast headshot. If you go into first person view and go on your tiptoes, which you do by holding R2 and L2 at the same time on first person view, you will be perfectly lined up for the head of the guard so you can instantly headshot him.
What's this next boss called, Major?
The cheese.
Yeah,
cheese.
it's the cheese.
Wait, that's not it. No, what is it? It's
No, it's the cheese. You are
Oh.
completely right.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it's the cheese. Just ignore the name at the top there. It's the cheese, and you will see in a second why we are called. No, coming
So-
up next is the fear.
He's fake death billing, which makes the fear run up to him. And once he revives, he's going to throw a stun grenade at his feet, which stuns the fear. Stunning the fear actually removes all of his iframes and turns all damage that he takes into stamina damage. So it lets him kill the fear really quickly with his infinite ammo machine gun here.
Yeah, it's the one benefit of doing Tuxedo, being on New Game Plus, you get the Patriot, which is, as Mage said, it's an infinite ammo machine gun. We normally deal damage to him. In normal Euro, we'll use the rope trap to deal all that damage to him, but because we have the Patriot, it's just much easier to use that.
The setup for the rope trap is pretty precise.
We'll take something a bit easier where we can get it in this run. And as I say, a lot of the bosses in Euro are really hard, but that isn't one of them. But to make
It's it's the easiest one, I would say.
Speaking of difficult.
Yeah. Legit top 5 hardest rooms in the game. See, now this room won't work. 100% continue. Okay, 99% continue.
Did you get? You just got the 1%. You just got the 1%. The
You-
coin flipped into your favor.
When you land on top of that guard and he falls in front of you, when you walk over his body, it stutters your movement, and there isn't enough time in that room to lose that movement there because everything's so precise. And as I say, like 1 in 100, you get away with it, but most of the time that would be a continue. As soon as I land on that guard, I have to set up to box headshot the next guard, and then immediately roll so the guard by the doorway doesn't see me, and then bump him with the box and roll through him to also make the red automatic door close behind me. So it's quite an involved room. It's very difficult. It all happens really quickly, but that's just kind of strats we go for to save time. For the longest time, I used to say, oh, Warehouse 2, I'm never doing that strat. It's too difficult. But once you just grind it for, I don't know, like 100 times, like over and over again, it starts to feel not that bad.
Yeah, I can say MGA3 Euro isn't as bad. You just have to sacrifice sleep, food, all your social contacts, and you will get there eventually.
True.
So, Apache, what's this boss coming up called?
Okay, this next boss is the end. It's not the end of the run, it's a boss called the end. There's also a boss called the boss, but that's not this boss. That boss is at the end. Are we all following? Good.
I have to look back to the
You lost
completely
me.
first out that happened.
Yeah, so if you remember at the docks, Apache shot a barrel which damaged to the end. This is really critical for this fight because you'll notice he's missing just a little bit of his stamina here. And he's going to open up with 3 headshots. That's super high damage. That's exactly what you
really
want.
nice.
That's pretty much as good as it gets. And then he's going to run over to this position, which is going to be important later. And he's going to do 6 punch-punch-kick combos. This is a buffer for 25 seconds, which is the cooldown for the end's ability to teleport. After he does that, he's going to throw a smoke grenade to break line of sight between him and the end, and then make a loud noise by shooting his gun. And because he's standing in this position, the end is going to teleport to a specific location. He knows exactly where that's going to be. So he's going to run up, throw a stun grenade, and start a loop on him. He's going to do what we call the hybrid loop, which is a combination of the old strats that we did a few years ago and a strat that was found in 2020 by a runner called Go-Go Time. He's going to basically hold him up and loop him on the ground with stun grenades and smoke grenades, and then alternate that with a 6 spray in between.
Yeah, and because it just got asked in the chat, I wasn't watching earlier, why didn't he get the wheelchair kill? It's because, first of all, we want to go out of our way to get the SVD, which costs 2 minutes, and also it will be a lethal kill, which means we don't get the Mosin Nagant, which is a really important tool for us later on in the run for a lot of the boss fights. And apart from that, there would be an Ocelot unit in the area where we fight the end, where we would have to sneak past. These are the reasons why we don't get this kill. It's just faster to kill him like that.
To cut a long story short, it's slower.
Yeah.
And we also can. Some people know that you can let him die of old age. You save, quit out the game, get your console timer up 1 week, and if you load back in, he will die of old age. We can't do that because this is a single segment run, and as soon as you quit out of the game, it's not a single segment run anymore.
I just want to say that I've ran this game a couple of times at UKSG, and my friend Trico, he would always stand at the back and pretend to climb the ladder whenever I did that, and like it always brought me so much comfort, right, to see my friend just doing that in the background. And then at ESA in Sweden, he appeared at the back as well, and it was like 8 o'clock in the morning. I was like, oh my god, Trico's here. And then when I did my run at GDQ, not at GDQ, on the Hotfix show, he was also in the chat and he was like, don't worry, I'm here. So it just kind of sucks that I won't have Trico here today with me. I just wish I could like just randomly see him in the background, just pretending to climb the ladder. Shout out Tricro, what a legend.
Yeah, thanks to Tricro for getting this footage for us.
He always does that on every single one of my MGS3 runs. He's always there.
Okay, wave back at Tricro. Hello, Tricro.
I always like to let the song play out for the people who love it. Shout out Tricro for that one. Big respect. And yeah, good song too. We've got to eat again once we get to the top of the ladder. Our stamina is precariously hanging around half. Snake loses a ton of stamina climbing that ladder, you know, as you would. Actions like climbing and swimming as well drain your stamina quite fast. We're now in the mountain sections, and we're going to use that box to get up basically every slope. We always use it on slopes, it's nice and fast. We have to be quick in these rooms. Essentially everything I do here is to get up to a guard at the end as fast as possible. At the end of this room, sorry. As fast as possible. So I have a little bit of time to take out these two guards. If I shoot wrong at all, if I miss those guards in any way, I'll get a caution and the backup team comes from where I'm trying to get to. So that run, the room doesn't work anymore. But this guard's super awkward and you can get a continue on this guy occasionally. We just bump into him. Yeah, we just want to bump into him and then use the sig spray. Shooting sections are definitely not my strong point.
Game's hard.
Oh, missed him. There we go. Oh, I hit his radio.
You've done it again, Apache.
Right, I've got to hit him anywhere, right? Anywhere at all. Literally anywhere. And the radio is about 2 pixels.
That's a 2 out of 2 for you today.
Yeah, 2 for 2 today.
Hitting all the rarities.
And now we get.
I don't think you mentioned it before, but that guard actually he sees you as soon as you enter the room, so you really can't move from your starting position, or you're getting alert.
I think I might be in a bit of trouble here because I need to get up to the top of this room before something happens, and I might be a little bit slow. This room's a terrible one to take. Continue. Look at how far that guard's up. I'm so getting seen here. So we're going to cause a caution, hopefully. That you shouldn't be there that late, basically. So we were nearly in trouble.
And now, best hitbox ever programmed. Can say it after.
You think Snake's dash attack in Smash is bad? It's doesn't. You don't even have to connect the hitboxes in this game.
You can roll with the lab and hit a guard and Grozny grab an MGS3.
Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah. This is another instance where we'll use the lean to be completely invisible while we take that guard out. We have to go back in the box there. If you don't go back into the box there, this guard up top will move away from this position we need him at, which is next to a barrel, which will blow up. Alright, we made it.
Clean.
There's
Yeah,
always
very nice.
There's always a special prize handed out for anyone who makes it through the 3 mountain rooms, and the special prize is called the Fury. He's the most difficult boss in the game. He has a flamethrower. He's very much RNG based, 95% RNG based, and he's a big run killer. I always say on my stream, like, feel free to have a guess in the chat how many times I will die to him. So I invite you all to do that now if you'd like.
0.
By the way, a little fun fact on my side, I will always say 3. No matter, I really believe in him. I know he's extremely good at the game, but I will always say 3.
Let's hope not 3.
Hopefully not, but I will just always say it as a joke. People have a lot of faith in you. Everyone except for 17.
70.
2, 1, 1. Yeah, we are mostly at like 0. Any more than 0, and I am disappointed. 0 van Etienne. So they're confident in you, and I guess all of your commentators are as well.
Well, let's see who's right. So he's about to go into the Fury now. The Fury has like 12 initial landing spots, and 4 of them are common. He really wants him to go barrel side close, so basically right from your perspective. That's the ideal spawn point, and it is not the one he got. He got a pretty bad one, actually. He got a far side, barrel side, and immediately started walking north, so he had to actually bait him out with a few shots. Yeah, he's gone on him. So that's what we mean by RNG. Thankfully, this isn't RNG that kills you, but it is still bad RNG.
Oh, I'm so in trouble.
This is effectively a casual fight at this point. He's basically just chasing around.
He did the thing where he lands doing his attack. So normally when you land, I'm gonna shut up for a second. What happened there was very unlucky, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But that was lucky that he landed in the same place.
Not that slow.
When you shoot him out the sky, what should happen is he drops to the floor, he lands, and then he has to reacquire his target on you. What he did was, as he was falling through the air, reacquired his target, so he landed with iframes and started hitting me with his flamethrower. Really unfortunate, but it can happen, like as we saw. But yeah, no deaths on that one, so I'm happy. And everyone who said 0, I appreciate your faith.
I also said I have faith in you. I just have to keep the meme alive.
So here we're looking at the floor. This area, the more guards in a zone, the more laggy it can be, and this area on European Extreme is exceptionally laggy. So we just look at the floor to keep the frame rate as high as possible, and it does actually affect the timer at the end. But there'll be plenty more looking down in this run later. This guard's very intelligent.
Totally. What Apache was doing there, he was shooting one guard down, which manipulated the other guard to look out for his friend and just ignore the box.
Yeah, if I just ran past normally, the guard would see me, but he doesn't prioritize the box over me, basically.
Yep. And what he's just done there is he threw a smoke grenade at the base of the stairs, which is going to obscure him from a guard that's in that hallway. And then he shot that guard in the hallway with his lethal pistol. And for some reason, that guard in the hallway and Rykov, the guy he's dragging now, are like telepathically linked. So when that guard gets sent into a caution, so does Rykov, and he immediately starts going for a radio. So we just meet him halfway, drag him the rest of the way where we want him to be, steal his clothes, and Bob's your uncle.
Not every guard in the room is telepathically linked with Rykov. It's just him.
Oh,
just him. I don't know why. Oh, nice.
No, I'm gonna have to put this guy back. Oh no.
Oh, what's that poster in that locker?
I think it's Raiden. I think it's a poster of Raiden in Metal Gear Solid 2, but this game's set in 64, so
How?
for,
How did they do that?
40 odd years before the game came out, so who knows what that was about. Nevertheless, we have to put that guy back in the locker before we move on. And now, I'll say it before anyone says it in the chat, Tuxedo failed. I have to change costume here.
Mostly it's me who says that.
The game won't let us progress unless we put the officer costume on here. So Tuxedo, the category extension, is Tuxedo in every room it's possible. So we can't get past here in anything but the officer's uniform. And now we get a wonderful, unskippable cutscene where we are tortured in Japanese. So if the host, Shep, if you want to jump in at all here, now's a good time.
Oh yeah, this is a pretty good time because we have 2 donations that came in. We have a $5 donation from Yugu Bossu saying LFG Apache, best MGS3 player in the world. And well, the donation comment says Kappa, but we know that's no sarcasm.
I mean,
And
It's really
Not
good to
completely
hear from you,
wrong.
mate. Thank you so much for the donation.
Mr. MZ is still above him, so the Kappa is okay.
it is a barely acceptable Kappa. But yeah, right. So and then that's followed up by a $10 donation from Bentley Bun, saying watching runs of MGS3 is always super fun, especially one like this with such a high difficulty. Good luck with the run, Apache. Smile.
Thank you, Bentley. Appreciate that. Appreciate all the donations coming in during this run. I love running at UKSG. Like I say, it's my 8th time, I think. So I'll always keep submitting to it. Thank you for accepting me, and I can't wait until we're back in person again, and you know, we can all see each other again, because I do miss my UKSG friends.
100%.
And I have to say something really quick now. Could be that you've seen me for like a few seconds in the background of his camera. I turned on the heating before, and I'm just melting right now. I'll say sorry for that, but we are in a part of the game where there's nothing going on anyway.
Yeah, go, you're all good. It's random Mayu on stream.
お前の狙いは何だシャゴホットかソコロフそれともイサムかいい貴様の仲間は
Yeah, there's nothing we can do about this. We're stuck in the old unskippable cutscene, keeping us hostage for a little while here. Literally.
Sorry again, but I was just melting.
No worries. So now we're going to escape the prison. There's multiple ways to escape the prison. One way is the codec, which isn't good enough for European Extreme because you get caught. The other way is the fake death pill. It's a little bit too slow for us, so we're going to use the one that's just right, which is kicking the rat to death and then spinning around in the survival viewer. Spinning around in the survival viewer will make us throw up. Stay with me here. Once we've thrown up, we're going to pick up the dead rat off the floor. We're going to kick, punch, kick a guy until he goes unconscious. Then we're going to shake him down for some smoke grenades. I didn't count how many times I spun, so I'm just going to keep going to make sure I throw up. I think it's 10.5 spins. Hopefully that was enough. We're good. So we've got to knock this guy out. Wow, he went flying there. And now we've got his smoke grenades. That was good item RNG, as Major calls it. And once we get out this door, we're going to have to do a frame perfect trick.
So what he's going to do is he's going to throw that dead rat straight ahead as soon as he gains control of Snake, which is going to distract a guard. It's in a little alleyway southeast of where you start the room. It only doesn't distract him for very long. So that's basically why the trick is so precise. You have to start moving at a precise time so that you don't get seen by him or the guard in the middle who he grenaded past, who is turning his head left and right. So it's a very precise trick for that reason. But he got it, nailed it.
It's a very, very scary room. I had to just talk to take the edge off it. One more room before the sewers, and fortunately we got these smoke grenades. These are going to come really in handy. First we're going to land this smoke grenade perfectly. Hopefully that's alright. It's a little bit far forward, but we'll go for it.
The aim here is to encompass that right guard inside of the smoke grenade so he doesn't see you while you're running by him, but also have the smoke grenade land in between you and the guard on the left so that he doesn't see you either. You'll notice that he actually aimed up just a little bit there. That's a lot safer. What a lot of people will do is they'll use the position of the sun and moon to calculate a precise grenade throw, and that's just not necessary.
And keep, keep that door open so the throw will definitely land.
Yeah, people do all kinds of crazy things there. And now in the sewers, it's part of the game that was taken straight out of the Great Escape. I'm going to pick up this life med here just for safety. Hopefully we won't need to use it. We can just completely drop off here and break our leg. It's absolutely fine. We're heading towards the Sorrow boss fight, which is an anti-boss. You may remember, if you played this game yourself, wading through the river with tons of dead souls of soldiers and stuff harassing you, trying to avoid the Sorrow's attacks. I think the river's about 2.5 minutes, something like that, to walk to the end of it, but we won't be doing any of that. We recently found out that none of the time you spend in the Sorrow actually counts towards the time at the end of the game, so whatever time the in-game timer is at when you enter the Sorrow fight is what it resets to when you come out of the Sorrow fight, as long as you don't take a continue in there. And that was only found last year by Major Zero himself, so, and Appel as well, messing around on the old emulator. I don't know how I ended up going backwards through here, but okay.
You're just moonwalk crouching now.
It's actually really bad because it's so slow. Why am I... Did you see how I got up then?
Yeah, that looked really weird.
It's because you went in backwards. It's actually really interesting that they programmed an animation for when Snake has a low wall over his head. It's really cool. But it's also slow, so don't do that.
I've never done that before. I don't even know what inputs I pressed to do it. So the easiest way out the Sorrow fight is to just kill yourself. In the past we used to drain our health with the cigar and then use a grenade, but since none of the time in there counts towards the IGT, we don't really worry about it. It was a minor difference, and it turned out it didn't even matter anyway.
Yeah, so the Sorrow is such an anti-boss that not even his time is counted towards the IGT at the end.
Yeah, it was all a dream. Now, as long as
I just want to ask, for Foxhound's threats, it would only be the bosses in there. Because we don't kill anyone else. They're all just sleeping.
I think you still see the bosses even if you did them non-lethal, but you do see the odd guard as well, and I wonder if it's the guards, the ones that were killed by barrel explosions, things like that, or whether they're just there anyway. But I've definitely seen guards when, mooching through that
I did not know that. The more you know.
You might have noticed that there were no guards in this room. That's because he took out the transmitter in this cell. Actually, Otacon placed a transmitter on you during torture, but he went ahead and took that out during that cell escape. So.
Just to be clear, it's an ongoing meme that every time anyone else is placing a transmitter into us. So
it's a new person every time. We just can't keep up with who's doing it.
Right now, so this time it was Otacon.
This is the longest loading screen in the game. Unless my game's crashed. Hopefully not. No, we're good.
No, we're good.
It's about 22 seconds. So before we put the tuxedo on, I'm going to make it all the way to the end of this hall. Per the rules of the category, you have to wear it in every room. But it doesn't specify when you have to put it on. So I'm going to put it on at the end of the room just to save one menu. Menu in this game, just opening the pause menu to go in the backpack and the camouflage and so on, just takes so long. So we'll pick up this box first. If you've only played this game like casually, pick up that box. It'll save you a lot of time, and I'll show you why in just a second.
But couldn't you therefore cheese it and the rooms which are really hard just put on the tuxedo at the end for a brief second? If you take it like that,
I mean, theoretically you could, right? But one, you'd be very dull to do that, and two, you'd probably lose more time, like messing around in your pause menu all the time, like taking off camo, like putting on a camo takes a long time.
True.
The game, when you put on a camo, the game stutters for like a second to load the textures of it. A lot of people say like the guards in MGS3 are very, very intelligent, and I'm inclined to agree. I think they're some of the most intelligent and smartest guards you'll ever come across. Real high IQ stuff.
Okay. Just to react to chat for a second, Kes needs a waifu tier list of the boxes in this game for research.
Box B in S tier, and then any other boxes. Box B is the best because of this. We just transport straight into the lab, so you don't have to go all the way around and back through the room where we originally picked up Rykov. So it just saves us some time there. Minnie, do you want to talk us through the hangar?
So, we shoot the fuel tank over there, and with our non-lethal gun, which makes all the guards just run away. Very, very smart thing of them to do. And we're going to utilize the box here to distract this dude. We're going to place the C3 to take a codec. He's going to forget about the box that just walked by him. And then we're going to walk by him again. And he's also going to forget about that.
He's just doing whatever he's doing.
And all the guards are completely out of the way, so now it's just a straight shot to the last two fuel tanks. Just place a C3, and then we're going into the next boss, Vulcan 1.
Yeah, Vulcan 1 is, in your normal Euro runs, is a pretty straightforward boss. But because we're in the Tuxedo, we can't CQC him, which is a huge thing we do in the normal run. It's much more difficult fight in the Tuxedo, and I'm just going to hope for the best here. It's very easy to die on this fight.
So what he's doing, he is baiting this punch by Worgen to get behind him and shoot him a few times in the back with his SVD. And he will repeat it until half health, then the first phase is over, and we go into very nice phase 1. And now we go into the second phase, which isn't any different than the normal European extreme spread. We roll, lie in front of Worgen, and just alternate our shots in between Worgen's attacks. We use the time in between his attacks to reload our gun. And that's how you fight Worgen in the Tuxedo.
Yeah, in phase 2, every time he crosses his arms, he gets invincibility frames. So we just, when he crosses his arms, we take that time to quick reload. When you turn a gun on and off in the menu, it refills its ammo. And although we lost Foxhound in the lab, it was very sad, but I still will attempt Foxhound strats, so I'm going to do the bike chase non-lethal. It's very difficult and very easy to die on, especially the second half. The most difficulty I had in getting Foxhound in Tuxedo was the platform guards in the second part of the bike chase, because the amount of damage they do to you is just like RNG. It's like, it can be so much sometimes. I actually lost 5 runs to it.
Did you turn down your game?
Is people saying it's really loud? Because I did a little bit, but I can turn it down more. There we go. Let me know if it's too loud still.
I just saw that it was going a bit up. This is why I should be fine by now.
There's this really loud section of the game. For some reason, they decided to just turn all the volume up to 900 at this point. I don't know why I scope in. I'm so much better not scoped. I don't know why I scope. All the guns shoot perfectly down the center. No, not all the guns, but the sniper rifles do, and the Patriot as well.
Turn it up. Trust me, you don't want this game to be turned up in this section.
So you actually went for a cutscene skip there. If you shoot the RPG while that, like on the same frame that cutscene starts, you can actually see it from a different angle. It doesn't really skip the cutscene as such. It still plays out, but you get to see it from like Snake's perspective. It's kind of funny to see, but he didn't get it.
I have never gotten it in Marathon. Right, I have tried so hard. I really want to get it one day. The cutscene glitch. It's so good. And I'll put my stun grenades on. That first part of the bike chase is considered quite easy to get through non-lethal. This next bit's no joke. There are 4 RPG guards in total. The RPG guards can take like 2/3 of your health in one hit, and then all the random machine gun fire that you get. It's kind of RNG how much damage you take. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In a normal Euro run, we'll use a camo called the OS camo, or most runners will. If they want to keep the Foxhound intact every single time, we'll use the OS camo, which is a HD collection exclusive for New Game, and that does means you take 33% less damage. I think I hit him. I hope I did. This bit especially, you just take so much damage.
Yep. So there's like 8 guards in that area that he just went through. If you actually stun them quick enough, which I think he did, yeah, he did, you'll actually skip a wave here of guards that would come when Eva stops the bike in the middle of that alleyway. He got that skip nicely. And here's another RPG guard. This guy is pretty dangerous. He will nail you very consistently. I think you got him. Yeah, you're good. Nice. That's clean. So now he's just trying to avoid damage. There's one more RPG guard left at the very end of the room. He's very dangerous because at this health, he would absolutely kill him in one hit. He got him nice. He would absolutely kill Apache in one hit. And even if he didn't kill Apache, he would bring his health so low that the next room, he would probably die multiple times until the game gives him some pity health. Yeah. It's really punishing to get hit by that guard at all. So it's really important that you kill him or take him lots of time.
But sometimes the guard can also be a big troll and be like, nope, I not feel like getting hit today.
Yeah, sometimes I feel like I got him. I'm so sure I got him. I have to go back and look at the VOD. Like, I'm sure I hit him, and then every time I check, I miss. So, pretty much, if you shoot him, he will go down. But when you're feeling the pressure, it can be a difficult shot to make. And plus, you're moving as well. I need to stop zooming in. Just never zoom in.
So he's trying and failing, but trying to hit just the gunners on these bikes. Oh, okay, you're gonna take out the drivers too.
I just don't. These guys can be quite aggressive, so I don't trust it. I think I can shoot them all as they spawn in.
Yeah. If you shoot just the gunners, the drivers, they don't shoot that often, and when they do shoot, they're not all that accurate. But the important thing is, if you don't shoot the drivers, the motorcycles will never respawn like they're doing now. Some runners prefer to do it, some don't. Some people prefer to just take the risk and shoot them all.
Yeah, but one question. Are you surprised that the gunners don't have the best aim? I mean, they have to drive. How are they supposed? They are mostly just wriggling around their gun and hope.
It's kind of funny because if they've still got like the mate in their sidecar, they don't shoot. But when they drop out, they pull out a little pistol, and I think the animation's quite cute for it. We don't shoot any of those guards there because if we trank those guards and then the Shagohod runs them over, the game can count them as a kill. So it's just good practice to never ever shoot those guards there. I have never had it where I get to the score screen and I've got 1 kill and everything else on 0, but other runners have, and I never want to experience that.
It's terrible.
Did it happen to you before, Minnie?
This happened to me before, yes.
Oh no.
The Phantom.
So now he's obviously shooting the Shagohod. This damage carries over into the fight, so it's really important that you do as much damage as you can here. The damage cap is 1/3 of the Shagohod's health, so he's going to try to get as close to that as he can. Anything over 1/4 is considered pretty good, especially on Euro. You'll notice the Shagohod dropped back there a little bit. I'm convinced that's random. It's questionable, to be honest. On HD, the Shagohod behaves very strangely. It's like the splash damage grows in size sometimes. The Shagohod's only supposed to drop back when you shoot it in the treads, but on HD, for some reason, it just drops back randomly. I don't really understand it.
Yeah, sometimes the splash damage can just kind of hit the treads when you didn't even aim near it, which is very unfortunate.
Right, you are, Ken. Use the pistol. You won't.
No. But you've seen my sniping skills. So if any Call of Duty teams are out there looking for a sick headshotter or no scoper, then I'm your guy.
Nice teabag at the end at Shagohod, by the way.
Yeah, I'm just showing off. No, that's actually not to teabag. It's just a cutscene. To make sure you skip in the cutscene, you just smash X. So.
So now we have the Shagohod. Oh no. What he was going for was the Shagohod loop. So the Shagohod loop is initiated with a very precisely timed shot, which he just barely missed. It's very precise. But if you get the loop, you can keep the Shagohod from basically moving or turning pretty much at all throughout the entire fight, and you can stick behind it. And if you get really lucky, it can be about a 45-second long fight. The basic process would be to
doing okay with like these Hail Mary shots. Sorry, Major. I'm trying to
you're good.
This boss and I'm just like, look at how good I am at hitting the back of it. And again.
The basic premise would be to shoot the weak spot and then shoot the treads. And for some reason, when you you have both of those things done at the same time, the Shago HUD doesn't move. If you do either of them on their own, it'll move. Like, as you can see now, it's turning around. But if you shoot both of them, it stops.
Oh, here we go. She's driving into it.
Nice. So this is basically what you would see for the loop if you manage to get it for the whole time.
Sometimes looking at the Shago HUD can cause such an amount of lag that you're better off just looking at the floor until he goes away for a little bit. Sometimes this can happen as well, where she drives at the same speed he's turning. Sometimes she'll drive into it like this. This is all extremely bad.
Random. She's the worst driver you will ever see. I mean, of course, I see this big robot in front of me which can launch nuclear warheads. My first thought would also be just drive right into it. I don't see your problem there.
She'll actually drive right into the treads. Like, right into them. That's not a joke. Anyway, so phase 2, pretty simple. He's going to stun the Shago HUD's treads with an RPG shot, and then shoot Volgan in the head, and he's going to hopefully keep that loop for just 4 shots. That's all it takes.
Oh, by the way, I guess we did not mention it. Even if we killed Volgan with the lethal gun before, it did not count as a kill, because Volgan comes back.
Yeah, it does count as a kill, lethal kill if you kill him that time lethally.
Yeah.
And it is faster to kill him lethally. He's one of the few bosses in the game that's actually faster to kill him lethal than non-lethal. For the most part, doing things non-lethal in this game is the fastest way. But me being myself and favouring lethal strats in most situations, I did manage to find a few time saves in this game by killing things. Much to the dismay of the ethos of Metal Gear Solid 3 runners. So here I've shot the gunners off. This is the final bike chase section. It's the most difficult. Not particularly this room, but the room just after this. Oh, what a shot. The room just after this, the platform guard section, is notorious for killing Foxhound runs, especially on Tuxedo, where we can't do anything to reduce the incoming damage. One of the funniest things is, the platform guards can occasionally land on top of you and you will catch on fire. In a normal run, you can just change your camo to put the fire out, but you can't do that in Tuxedo, so you just have to burn. And fire is the highest DPS of anything in the game. It's much greater than like bullet fire or anything else. It's just really, really powerful. Alright, so here's the
he's doing the
section.
same thing here that he did in the other room where he just shoots the gunners. If you don't shoot the drivers, the bikes will never respawn. Nice shots.
Yeah, very nice.
And coming up here is that RPG guard. There's an RPG guard right at the end of the room. He will absolutely blow you away. Same guy, same thing as before. You know, he'll do like 2/3 of your health. It's right at the end of the room, and that's especially punishing going into the next room, because you go into the next room with like 1/3 health, and those hovered platform guys will just rinse you. But not only that, to add insult to injury, if he does manage to hit you, it drops the game's FPS down to like 2, and it takes genuinely about 20 seconds to get out of the room at that point.
True.
The lag is insane if he hits you with the rocket.
For some reason there, like, you can get hit by an RPG many, many times in the run, but for some reason there, the game just, like, can't handle it. Alright, so this isn't a... Oh, got him.
Oh, nice. That's good. That's lucky.
I got him on the way in.
Unlucky and then lucky. So that's what he means when he says that the platform guys can just park above you and just rinse your health. They can both shoot at you and light you on fire. And if by some miracle they do die, they can also crash into you. And that can also light you on fire, in addition to doing 2/3 of your health and damage. So it's really not a fun time if any of these guys do anything out of the ordinary. Really.
It was a little rough. Just a little rough.
So there we go. I think I'm on fire now. No, I'm not.
I don't think so.
No, it was close though. The platforms have to land like next to you in a certain way for you to catch fire. I want to say it's rare, but it's not really rare. It happens a lot. It happens too often. Most things you shoot in this game with an RPG have splash damage, but for some reason this log just doesn't. Which is handy.
Really nice
So
of
it
the
looks
log.
like we're gonna get out of this room of bike chase at least with no life meds used. That's good. That's pretty rare. This room loves to just eat life meds on you.
Yeah, that's actually why a lot of runners will pick up a life med along the way, is literally just for that room alone. It's so easy to die there.
Yeah, in normal Euro, it's changed over time, but back in the day, people used to non-lethal the first Volgin fight so they could get a camo called the Cold War camo, and that will prevent enemy soldiers from shooting at you if you're looking at them. And so that's how they got through that section. And then later people would just do it in the normal camo. They would try their best to avoid getting hit and take a life med for safety. And then Major started using the OS camo, which runners didn't really use before on the HD collection. I think because it didn't come with the PS2 version, and they're just trying to keep it as much like the PS2 version. Whereas me and Major don't care about making it like the PS2 version. We just want to do whatever's best. So yeah, the OS camo comes with the game. It's in new game as long as you press I like MGS3 at the start. And I don't think many people know that it reduces incoming damage, but it's pretty handy. 33% reduced. But we get
a lot of the camos in this game have extra little benefits that you have to like. I believe you can press triangle on the camouflage and it'll tell you what it does.
Yeah.
Like with the little bonuses. Yeah.
And calling using the radio as well, and they'll give you like what explanation of whatever camo you're wearing, which is cool too.
Yeah. Very nice bike chase.
Yes.
Yeah, he's out with no life meds. I mean.
Yeah, so I picked up 2 along the way. That's how bad it can be at times. I always get 2 because you can easily use 2. Easily. You just have to get a little bit unlucky with catching fire and platforms landing on you and stuff.
Sometimes they can put you on fire several times in this one room.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one life med that's not out of the way at all right before the pain starts, and then the other one that isn't too far out of the way, but if you were to go for it would still lose time, is right after you climb down the ladder after the prison escape.
Yeah, there's no more you'd really go for without losing, too much time. It's just not worth it at that point. So we always pick up 2 at most, generally in runs.
So you actually don't need to drag Eva through that first section. She'll actually teleport to you once you go through that cutscene. So just go on without her. It's a lot faster.
Which is funny because it's exactly the same with Emma Emmerich in MGS2. The first time you get out of the water, you don't have to walk her all the way to the door. It's just kind of funny how the similarities between the games, even the unintentional stuff like that.
But you have a lot in these games have a lot in common. They all have this auto-scroller, which is the bike chase in 3, and the all-fence in 2. You also have the escort, but Eva is a bit more useful than Emma.
Yeah, not so much in Euro, but she's a badass in normal. If you get caught, she just starts blowing guards' heads off. It's great.
She's a crack shot, and she's like a one-hit kill too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they actually carried that over to her character in MGS4. In MGS4, she's also a really good shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, of all the things I don't like about MGS4, I do love the way they treated Eva in MGS4. I thought it was very good.
Hey, if you ever wanted MGS4 to be more like MGS3, they initially wanted to have an escort sequence with Eva again.
I'm glad they decided against it.
This is
But you have a bike chase again.
This is the last room with guards. The tuxedo camo index is so bad that I can't take a single step forward here. So I have to wait for this guard and stare right at my screen because even though I'm wearing glasses, I'm still ridiculously blind. That was a complete miss. Now let's try out that strat that Major told me. Oh my god, I should have done that today.
So he did, what he's talking about is he did another run earlier today that was Foxhound up to this point, and then he lost it on that guard because he missed a shot and he got seen.
Yeah, I think it even stings worse with how much better that strat is. Have I left Eva at the start of the room? Oh no, she's there.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Imagine she would have just been there.
She was
waiting
behind the
for
tree
you.
the whole time.
So the tree is a solid object you can't look through.
Oh yeah, speaking of trees being solid objects, they're not, but they are, but they're not, according to guards. So you noticed a minute ago he shot those guards through a very clearly big gap, but the guards couldn't see through it. So the guards see that as just a tree, for some reason. Like the tree model extends way bigger than the tree actually is, but you can shoot through it. It's really weird.
He missed a shot on the guard there, so he has to wait until he peeks out of the tree again so he can shoot him once again.
Sometimes when you drop off here and tell Eva to follow you, she just won't, and she walks back to the start of the level. And Major found out that can actually happen multiple times in a row. So every time she does that, it loses about 3 minutes.
It's not fun.
And it can just happen. We don't know what causes it. It just happens. You literally drop off, and she turns around and walks away.
She's like, nope, not having that today.
Fortunately, it's not happened yet in Marathon to me, but this is the final boss of the game. She is called the boss, and because we can't use CQC, we have to do a little bit more. The fight's a little bit more involved with her. I'm going to be using a loop that Sparty came up with for me. So we're going to reverse her, do 2 headshots, punch her right in the dish, headshot her, oh. Headshot her, throw a stun grenade at her, turn away, and then this begins the loop, so we'll just shoot her, stun grenade her again, and we only have 3 of these on European Extreme, so we can only do this a finite number of times. So that's our last
Thankfully,
one.
with the Tuxedo, you can still parry her CQCs, even though you can't actually use CQC. This fight would be very annoying if you couldn't parry her. It would basically have to resort to casual strats of crouching in the flowers and using an SVD and thermal goggles, which is not a fun time.
If I didn't have such great runners like Major Zero, Mini, Appel, Sparty, all those guys, I probably would be proning around this room with the thermal goggles and the SVD. There's a really great community, MetalGearSpeedrunners.com, if you do want to learn any of these games. And honestly, I would have got nowhere with these games without all the people that have helped me along the way.
Amazing community.
So we don't call time quite yet. We do watch the unskippable cutscene and then fight Ocelot in the wig, but time will be coming up shortly. Shep, if there's anything you want to jump in with here, now's a good time.
No.
So we'll just be watching this unskippable cutscene and showing off our tuxedo. Everyone always gets sad at this part.
Yeah, I saw it that often. Again, I don't run it, but I saw Apache do it a lot. That's the reason why I know what he's doing, why he's doing all of that. And I still have to hold back my tears here and there if I see this cutscene. It's really sad.
Make sure to mash square. Oh, I see you doing it. Never mind. I see you doing it. I see you doing it.
If you don't immediately fire the Patriot, you'll lose 8 seconds because you have to wait until he fires.
Snake will hesitate.
Oh, I learned something new today. I didn't know that you have to match square there.
You can actually match square, X, or circle. They all work for some reason.
I don't trust those buttons, only square.
It's really strange.
There can only be one snake and one boss. It's Japanese, but this is something she says. I'm saluting right now. This is a quirk I'm having with that cutscene. I'm always saluting for her.
So just one more little fight here. We always pick the left revolver. The left revolver has the bullet in it, and we can fire the bullet faster than Ocelot, therefore the game ends quicker. And time is coming up when I fire the final shot. And that's time.
Time.
Thank you
GG.
very much for having me at UKSG. It was wonderful to be able to run Tuxedo for you all. Sorry I couldn't get that foxhound messed up in the lab. Unfortunate guard scientist in the middle of the room, but that's all it takes in this run to prevent you from getting foxhound. But one continue in Marathon. I'm not complaining. I just really appreciate you all watching and especially donating for the incentive. Thank you to Mini Omega King for joining me here on commentary, mate.
Oh, thank you for having me. It was always a great time commentating your runs.
Always. Thank you, Major Zero. I really appreciate you being here, mate. And thank you for helping me to learn the game as well, Mini as well.
My pleasure.
Mayu, my partner. I'm really happy you were here. I always feel better when you're co-commentating with me as well. Thank you.
Anytime. You know that I love commentating your runs. Love watching you play the game.
We are part of, as I say, Metal Gear Speedrunners community. So MetalGearSpeedrunners.com if you do want to learn any of the games. We have a Discord, and I pretty much stream this game every day. So if you do want to watch someone play Metal Gear Solid 3, a hell of a lot, twitch.tv/ApacheSmash. And if you want to see someone make fun of Metal Gear on Twitter a lot, twitter.com/ApacheSmash. Thank you for having us.
Thanks a lot for having us.
Yeah, thanks guys. Thanks for the run. Yeah, man, what to say really? Apart from like that was a pretty damn good run. Just as always. Yeah, so that wraps up the second final game for the entire marathon. Next up is going to be a pretty special treat. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But until then, we'll be hitting off the intermissions. So catch you guys in a bit.